I met a gypsy.
When I was working with AC in the amateur ranks, and I had him all through his Cowie career there, one of the things that ended up happening was somebody came to me after I lost him to Alden, because a lot of people don't realize that he had signed that huge deal going from super minis to the pro class. He had a chance to go train with Villapoto and Alden. And I said, AC, come on. I mean, that's an opportunity of a lifetime. You're training at the what's now known as the Nest.
The Nest, yeah.
So you can go train at the Nest. You've got a full-time facility. You're training with Villapoto, the best in the sport at the time. Don't be silly. And my point is, what ended up happening was, as soon as he graduated, a gentleman contacted me and said, I will pay you 5 figures for AC's training program.
That's crazy.
And I had made a commitment to Alan C., his dad. I said, I will never sell Adam. No one will ever know what I did with Adam as an amateur, out of respect. But on the second side, to your point earlier, if I handed that training program over to somebody,
what's to say?
The kid could get crucified.
Yeah.
Adam Cianciarulo, and I've said this on several, writing and articles and interviews, AC was by far the hardest worker I ever had. And this may sound crazy. The only other person that I would even put in the same category would be Ashley Filek when I worked with her with Honda.
Oh, awesome.
Incredibly hard worker. Probably because she had to, you know. But the point is you remember Adam used to train with Zach Freeberg.
Yeah.
And we'd be sitting there and we'd be doing, doesn't matter what, static wall squats or whatever. And AC just look at him and say, you hurting? Zach's like, oh, I'm dying. He goes, good, because I'm going to win. And that little guy would sit there. I mean, you got to remember, Zach's 6'4", and there's got little AC underneath.
And AC's he's not a physically imposing dude. Like, even now, he still looks goofy as hell.
Absolutely. He's certainly not the most intimidating guy.
He's got a Jar Jar Binks physique.
But that heart. Yeah. And I always say, I can never cultivate that tiger in the belly, that fire in the belly, but I can cultivate and drive the efforts. And I'm not the most popular because I do err on the side of caution. I'm going to be more of an aerobic enhancement guy than an anaerobic. And some people say, oh, see, Coach Robb doesn't understand moto because it's an anaerobic threshold sport. That's total BS. I get it. Trust me, we have our heart, we download our heart rate monitors after every single riding session. I understand. I've been doing it for 35 years. I've got world champions in every sport we do. But I'm not going to just be another riding coach that's out there saying, just push it, just push it, just put. That's not what I'm paid to do. Sustainability. Now, if that means that I have to have an athlete that the best his body can do right now, and I've got to be very careful because we'll pick athletes up that come from other programs. I've got to clean up what's already been done. Yeah. At the same time, try to create some improvement and create sustainability. So that means I may only be able to develop someone into a top 3 guy and never a champion. But to take them into that extra 1%, I could take them from a 6-year career down to 18 months or even 2 years. We've seen it in the last couple of years. You know, when AC got went into the pro class, I got a call from a foreign magazine that said, how's AC going to do? I said, I'll do great. I said, and I thought this was a pretty cool journalist. He said, what's your biggest fear for him? And I said, to be honest with you, my biggest fear is what happens when he has his first injury. Because the whole time I had him as an amateur, the only bone he broke was his coccyx bone. He looped out and he broke the the right where your butt is at. And it's not like you cast it. You just literally don't sit, you know. And I always said my concern would be is if he ever becomes too frail, because I always worked on him trying to bounce, not break when he hits the ground. It goes back to strength and functional flexibility. I didn't know what he was doing with his other trainers. That was none of my business. He moved on, and I had to respect that. But then he goes and he bounces off the wall in that European Supercross and cracked.
Dude, I was right there. I stood right there when he crashed.
Whiskey throttle.
Mate, I cannot tell you how good he was riding. Yeah. It was, I was filming that race, and I wasn't filming, dude. I was watching him. I was going, holy fuck.
Watch this.
Adam Cianciarulo is doing some James Stewart shit right now. Like he got a bad start and he was like coming through I think he went down in like the first turn or something like that where he come through the pack. I've never seen a dude ride the way he was riding.
That's awesome.
It was incredible. And then that crash, you can just you know when like the way that they moved and fell and then the way that they stayed on the ground, not good. You could tell it was bad and he was properly hurt. But I was so devastated, man. I stood it was an on-off section, I'm pretty sure, and he clipped another dude, and then he whiskied, like the guy kind of it's like he clipped his arm, forced him to roll that throttle on, and then just looped out, all super awkward, and I was at the start, and it was the section that come on, and I was just gutted because the way he was riding that motorcycle was just phenomenal. And I'd been to Alden's a bunch, and I'd been doing filming him do motos. Never seen a kid ride like that. It was so insane. I was so devastated for him.
Well, the thing that I think is so interesting goes back to the Mike Alessi dad situation. What did he do to build resiliency? I'll give you an AC story that falls right in line with why I felt AC would be fine if he could learn how to deal with he got all the baby Jesus and all this other stuff. I got news for you. The kid earned everything he got. The fact that Mitch invested in him was just a business decision, but he wasn't, they call him baby Jesus. I thought was uncalled for because the kid worked his butt off and he was extremely talented. And my only concern was, would he have that resiliency and not lose focus? Because he'd never, I don't care to anybody. Like I was saying earlier, you got to look backwards to look forwards. Until you break an arm and go through a cast in the rehab, you don't know what it takes to get through that until you go through it. I call it the familiarity principle. But AC's dad took him down to a track in South Florida, and they live up in Port Orange, a couple hour drive down, maybe 3-4 hours even. And they got down there, and what Alan's thing was is AC had to pack his gear bag. Alan would put the bikes in the van. This was on Super Minis, but AC had to pack his bag. They get down there, and Adam had forgotten a glove. And so Alan said, well, you obviously don't take this serious enough. You need to bag your stuff back up. We're heading back home. And Adam was in tears. Dad, no, I'm sorry. He says,
Alan's pretty hard, dude.
Alan he's an accountability guy.
Yeah.
And he said to him, look, you just lost this day to be 1% better than everybody else. And if you can't pay attention to those types of details, then how are you going to pay attention to the other? And I think it comes back full circle. He's teaching him those hard lessons instead of keeping him in a bubble, thinking that he's better than everybody else. He's entitled to all this stuff. And I'm not comparing AC's dad, Alan, to Mike's dad at all.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when you do get hit with adversity, and when Mike started to fall out of being that, that mini kid sensation with his own Honda commercials and everything else, where's the kid going to go? He's so used to everybody doting all over him and rolling out the red carpet and all that. But then all of a sudden a few injuries and a couple wrong decisions with your, whether it's people yelling at DeCoster and, things don't go well under the awning. But the bottom line is Adam, I think, has always been. Christy, his mom, and even his sister, as much as they joke about him kind of being kibitzing with his sister, it's a very tight-knit family.
Oh, they're super close.
Tight. But they teach him life's lessons. I mean, drive. Can you imagine as a dad, you just drove 4 hours down?
They seem like a normal family they're together. That was something that I always, I noticed straight away. Like you hang around with Tony and Jeff and Mike, and you're like, that's not like healthy. A normal thing that they're going on.
Yeah.
But you get around with Alan and Adam and that family, and even though they're at the track, they are a normal family. There's a dynamic that goes on that isn't like this. I just don't think that I've never got the sense that Alan has ever looked at Adam as like this meal ticket kind of thing, or we better protect our investment.
Right.
Like that's a vibe that I've never got off them.
That's right.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.